Joe Rogan doesn't seem to have much faith in Jake Paul ahead of his upcoming boxing match with Anthony Joshua.
What do you think about Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua?
Boy. Well, realistically, it's one of the craziest propositions of all time. You take a guy who just had a boxing match that looks like a sparring match with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, and then you're going to fight one of the absolute scariest knockout artists in the heavyweight division. Maybe we should watch the Francis Ngannou fight so you could see. Let's watch that real quick, just so you can see what Anthony Joshua is capable if he's fighting someone that's not in his league. Okay, look, Usyk beat him, and he beat him twice, and Andy Ruiz caught him in the first fight and dropped him and stopped him. It was spectacular. Andy Ruiz is super talented. Usyk is perhaps the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. Maybe one of the greatest of all time in any weight class. Usyk.
Renato Moicano responds to Dan Hooker's recent call-out. For those who missed it, Hooker basically said that him and Moicano both suck, so they might as well fight each other next. Renato agrees, he just thinks he sucks much less than Dan, but he doesn't believe the UFC will actually book it.
Okay, those guys aside, I'm sure you've seen Hooker saying after the fight he wants to fight you. He says the both of you suck. That's how he put it. What did you think when you saw this?
I just laughed, you know. That was a funny call out. I think that was even funnier because I think at the beginning he said like Hunter called him to see if everything was okay, and he answered the phone and say, "Hey, Moicano sucks." And that is something that I would do it if I was in his place, you know. I would say the same thing about Dan Hooker. I think he doesn't deserve to be on the top 5, on the top 6, and he's right. He sucks, but the only thing that he's missing out that he's way worse than me. No ground game, you know. Doesn't have knockout power, doesn't have wrestling, you know. And unfortunately for both of us, UFC not gonna do this matchup, you know. I think the fans would love to watch me and the Hooker fight, but I don't think UFC is making that fight.
Why not?
Because let's be honest, we both old, and they probably want to feed like a young contenders prospect, you know, to get in the rankings. Right now, Dan Hooker is the easiest way to get on the top of the rankings, you know. And I am number 10 too, so I don't think they would do that, you know. I think what they will do is BSD against Dan Hooker. I think that's the move.
On one of his recent live streams, Max Holloway gets annoyed with his chat for baiting him with questions about Ilia Topuria.
And you say, why you lost to Ilia? I caught. My caught me, bruh. You not watch the fight? Hit me on the left hook. Yeah, then why the asking that question, you weirdo? What a weirdo.
Daniel Cormier thinks Paddy Pimblett needs one more good win before challenging for the lightweight title. DC insists Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan is the fight to make.
I know for a fact that they wanted to do Paddy versus Justin. A win over Justin after what he's done already. Now I would have bought Paddy Pimblett fighting for the belt right now, because I still believe that Paddy needs to continue to grow in the octagon a little bit, because he's righted the ship and now he's fought so well that we go, man, the way he beat Chandler, we've never seen that before. But Ilia is a different beast. He's a savage. But so is Arman Tsarukyan. I believe that Arman versus Ilia is the fight, man. 100%. From the interactions they have, the way that you can tell that those guys don't like each other. Ilia said he slapped him the other day. Arman said he touched his face, and now he's saying he slapped him. It's easy to build a fight between these two, because when you build a fight between these two, you feel like it's going to be very competitive. You feel like there is a chance Arman Tsarukyan can win, but you also know that there's not a person in the world that Ilia Topuria can't beat. With these great champions, there is nothing better than going into a fight knowing that they are going to have their hands full and they're going to be challenged.
Merab Dvalishvili admits that he started to like Petr Yan after their first fight. The rematch goes down at UFC 323 next month.
Merab, the first time you guys fought Petr, I feel like there was a lot of bickering. There was a lot of tension in between you guys. Do you need a little bit of that animosity to still do that to Petr Yan? Because I remember there was one thing that you did say. I can lose to anybody, but I cannot lose to Petr Yan.
Only one guy, if I lost against him, the Petr Yan, I will kill myself, you know? Because
do you still feel that same way?
After I beat Peter first time, you know, it's like our mentality, like when you beat somebody and after he has a fight, you're rooting for him. You know, I was like after me, he fought 3 times and I was like cheering for him. Let's go, Peter, like beat, you know, because it makes you look good too, you know, when you beat somebody top guy. And now I was cheering too much to him and now I like him. It's hard to be mad about him. And he called me out and he was very respectful. I'm like, oh, I need to be mad at him again, you know, like it's hard.
In a recent appearance on Daniel Cormier's YouTube channel, Arman Tsarukyan reveals how he plans to finish Ilia Topuria if they ever fight.
How would you beat Ilia Topuria? Nobody has.
I'll beat him everywhere. Just tell me how you want to see that fight and I'll make it happen.
I think
I'll knock him out with my abs kick.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like when you do the axe kick, Arman. You got very athletic.
Yeah, I'll make him tired and I'll throw my abs kick and knock him out. That's my plan.
Yeah.
Arman also discussed whether or not he would take another fight before he gets a title shot. He says only if it were Conor McGregor.
Would you fight again? Would you fight again before getting the title fight?
No way.
No, you shouldn't have to.
If it's not Conor McGregor, I wouldn't fight.
You want to fight Conor McGregor, man? He said he just came back. Did you see Conor McGregor say he went on a spiritual journey? He said he went on a spiritual journey.
He never fight me and the UFC never let me fight Conor McGregor. It's a nightmare for him.
Jon Anik believes Belal Muhammad needs to lean more heavily on his wrestling if he wants to compete with the top welterweights right now.
You know, dear friend of the family, so sometimes it's hard to look at this with a critical eye, I guess. But when Belal says there's work to do, isn't that to go to Dagestan for 2 to 3 years and get to being that type of stylist, right? He's an outstanding striker. You don't become a world champion being a one-trick pony. But I think Belal Muhammad is going to handle this new wave of welterweights. I would think it would be more rooted in wrestling maintenance and the striking being sort of a means to an end in terms of trying to get the fight to a place where he can dominate and potentially suffocate.
It's great to hear that from an athlete like Belal. When you're honest with yourself and you're looking at it with a critical eye and you're going, what do I need to fix this? To me, I think he's thinking that exact thing, John, which is, you know, shoring up his wrestling and getting that better and using his striking, like you said, as a way to get in on those legs or get in on those takedowns.
It looks like Ilia Topuria will not be fighting in January. There were rumors that he would be fighting on the first UFC Paramount card. Alvaro Colmenero stated things have changed a lot. There have been private situations, and you're going to be very surprised at what's going to happen in lightweight. I can confirm that Ilia will not fight in January. February? I doubt it a lot. If you ask me, I think Ilia will fight in spring. It is now being rumored that Paddy Pimblett will face Justin Gaethje on the first Paramount card. He continued, multiple sources have told me that the fight to be held at UFC 324 is Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje, as I also heard DC say. My opinion is that this will be the main event. My interpretation is that the winner of this fight will face Ilia in the spring or summer, unless Topuria is given a fight against Islam Makhachev at the White House or International Fight Week. In this whole situation, Tsarukyan is out of the picture in the short term. I think he deserves to be next on merit, but that's how it could all play out. Daniel Cormier has fired back at Jon Jones. A few days ago, Jon claimed that he was offered a charity grappling match against DC. He said, I said absolutely. Let's see what comes of it. 3-0. New footage has been going around of Jon eating food in Chechnya. DC left a comment saying, why is Jon Jones not with his family on Thanksgiving holiday?
Чеченскую еду есть. Jones, how food, Chechen food. Ой,
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Anthony. It says, "Who else skipped the Weidman show?" The second one's from RC Stockton. It's in reference to Tony Ferguson saying that in his prime he could beat Islam Makhachev. It says, "Old Tony the type of guy to believe he'd beat prime Tony." And the final one's in reference to the back and forth between Khabib and Conor McGregor. It says, "You fight for money. I scam for legacy." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.